Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time on the channel, I ask that you check out the rest of my videos, and if you like what you see, give it a thumbs up. But more than anything else, I ask that you subscribe to the channel. Today I'm going to be discussing a topic that is concerning to most Jamaicans who's living abroad, about returning to Jamaica or not returning to Jamaica. Should expat Jamaicans living abroad return to Jamaica one day to live permanently? This has been an issue because it appears as if returning Jamaicans to the island has been targeting. At least that's how the media make it sound, make it look. It seems as if Jamaicans who have returned from the US, Canada, England, or wherever in the world they were for the last 10-20 years has been targeted and are being killed, are being bumped off. Is it facts, or could it be just coincidental? You know, I mean, Jamaica is renowned for its violence, and it's not a fictitious tale of the violence in Jamaica. Violence in Jamaica has always been real, to me at least. So before I weigh in my opinion on whether or not I believe Jamaicans living abroad should return to Jamaica one day, let me first declare my in-depth knowledge to the violence of Jamaica. Violence of Jamaica, to me, is indeed not fictitious. It is as real as I'm sitting right here. I mean, for most of you who do not know or do not know anything about me, I was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and I grew up in some of the most notorious areas in Kingston, Jamaica. I was born in an area called Jonestown, and while growing up in Jamaica, I've lived in areas like Mountain View Avenue, in particularly Jake's Road. I've lived in Backbush. I've lived in Top Range. This is just to name a few. I've lived in Jungle. I've lived in Lincoln Crescent, which is now coined as the Black Roses Corner. And all these areas that I've named is just to emphasize to you that if you guys know these neighborhoods or know of the repetition of these neighborhoods, violence are real. I've been awakened to the raining of bullets, walking to school, you know, in Jamaica. I've had to duck down from bullets between, back then we used to call the Rat Patrol versus the gunmen. You know, so there are times when we used to be in school and our teachers had to tell us to duck down because there's bullets whizzing through the classroom from gunmen and police that's running through the schoolyard. So my reason for bringing that up is just to let you guys know that I'm not a stranger when it comes to the reality of the violence in Jamaica. I'm living overseas, and from what I've been hearing and from what I've gathered from the media, this violence has just extended itself island-wide to different parishes where violence usually never took place. So now that I've got that out of the way, I'm trying to say violence in Jamaica is real. So if you have a fear factor, the fear factor is real. But I'm saying some people fear factor could be based up on rumors. Some people fear factor could be based up on the news they read or what they've heard. And some people fear factor may be a similar experience to mine or have actually lived within the areas that are rife in violence. But saying that, violence also exists in foreign. There is violence in America, there's violence in Canada, there's violence in England, there's violence everywhere in the world. People die everywhere in the world. People die every day. So whether or not Jamaicans should go back home one day if they feel like it, it would not be my place to say you should or you shouldn't. I mean, everybody's situation is different. If you feel as if you've had enough of foreign because of your particular reason, of course I would encourage you to go to Jamaica. Go back. It's home. Home is home. And without a doubt, even though there's still some level of prejudice in Jamaica, when you return, at least you know that that's where you're from. That's your born land. You have a certain level of rights to be back home. While some of us, when we live in foreign country, whether we're there 10, 20, or 50 years, we're always reminded that we are foreigners. And for some people, they can live with that. And for other people, that can become a bit overbearing, and you just want to go somewhere where, you know what, I feel like home. This feels more like home to me. Recently, there's been, I believe, 3 deaths in Jamaica. One was a Jamaican woman who lived in England, going back to Jamaica. She was in the midst of building her dream home, and she got killed by one of the construction workers. The other was found in a shallow grave somewhere, and another woman was found in some woodland naked. People are dying. Are returning residents being targeted, or could this be 3 cases of individual situation, individual circumstances that caused them to die? The media could have ran with it to say, well, one thing they did have in common, they were all foreigners. They all lived abroad at one point or another. This is how I view the situation. You know, there's usually a news within the news. So there could be a whole lot more to what the media is running with. Here's what I'm going to say. Jamaica is a gem. Jamaica is paradise. You understand? The white sand beach, the blue water, the sunny skies enrich the country with its beauty, and it also enriches the country with its wealth. It's why tourists flock Jamaica annually. But here's what could be one possibility. Is it a conspiracy to inject fear in expat Jamaicans overseas not to come back to Jamaica, not to get their piece of the ackee? Could it be one of those situations? Could it just be like, here's the thing, Jamaicans go abroad to work hard, earn their money, save their money, and while they're living abroad, their eyes are open. They see the world from a different scope. Now, their intelligence has even widened. It's not just narrowed by the Jamaican media and the Jamaican livelihood anymore. They see the world on a global scale. They're more knowledgeable than they were when they were living in Jamaica. Is it a fear factor for, is someone afraid of our return? That now we've got a little bit of money and we've got some knowledge in sectors and areas that we usually didn't have, and now we're not only coming back to Jamaica to build a big house, but we're probably coming back to Jamaica to invest. We're coming back to Jamaica to offer jobs, and we're coming back to Jamaica to take our piece of the ackee, to make our name, to live upon the hill. Is there someone behind the scene fearful of this and say, you know what, here's the thing, let's create chaos? Because if we create chaos, a lot of people, despite how much money they have in the world, is one thing that's most valuable to them: their life. So if we let people know that you could come get a piece of the ackee, but your life is at stake, 9 out of 10 people is going to say, I'm not going. I'm staying right here where I'm at, in this little apartment or in this little house or in the snow or in the cold, but I'm not going, because one thing is certain, it's not even certain, the probability is probably higher that I live longer here in Canada or here in England or America or wherever they are. So is it a conspiracy? Is it people just dying as they usually die? And you know, Jamaican people are ignorant, and you know, it doesn't take much for a person to kill you in Jamaica. You know, the civility is so small in Jamaica, but it's nothing new. It's nothing new. Jamaicans are renowned to be ignorant. When you can be in America or in Canada or in England and you can have a disagreement with another human being and it only becomes a disagreement, in Jamaica the ignorance is on a different level. You could just be discussing 2 different color shoes. I prefer this, you prefer that. And in Jamaica, you could be killed for that, just because Yo, I never like how the boy they talk to me, you know. I never like how you that talk to me. I never like how you look for me. So this ignorance in Jamaica is nothing new. So my whole point is, should Jamaicans go back to Jamaica and live? If they want to, yes. We all owe God a debt. We will all die one day. If you believe that dying overseas is better for you, then that's your prerogative. And if you believe that Jamaica is home and I'm going there, and if you go there, you're gonna die there one way or another. So either someone's gonna kill you or you're just gonna die of natural causes. We're all gonna die at some point. This is what I'm trying to say. But is this fear factor being conspired by higher powers? It is a fear factor that's being conspired by higher powers. I mean, a police officer recently killed himself and killed a woman at the police station. They weren't foreigners, they were local Jamaicans. In Jamaica, that's just news. Is it really strange news? No, but people die all the time in Jamaica. Domestic affair, argument, and so on and so forth. So the media can't really put a fear factor around that. As growing up in Jamaica, these areas that I just named earlier, there was a fear factor. As a child, I was scared to death because I knew what a bullet can do. I knew what the sound of bullets meant. It meant that someone was being shot at or someone was dying. And we were afraid. Sometimes my mother put us under the bed. We were scared to death and we could not wait to leave Jamaica and go to foreign. Then we go to foreign. And we experience foreign and we live in foreign and we work in foreign and we earn in foreign. But like most Jamaicans who left Jamaica, the aim was not to go to foreign and live in foreign. Most Jamaica had an ambition to go to foreign, come back for a piece of the ackee, and live better than I used to live. Now it's being promoted on the news and in Jamaica and over social media that we should not come back to Jamaica because people are dying. People have been dying in Jamaica a long time ago. People were dying. I think the 1980s probably was the bloodiest decade of Jamaican history. People were dying a long time in Jamaica, and people are still gonna die. Whether they die of natural cause or they die of Jamaicans shooting them and robbing them. They're well-off Jamaicans in Jamaica who travel back and forth to foreign every so often. But because they live so far away from the common people, their lives are not a threat. Thieves and criminal and bad influences are not going that far because they know the risk they're taking. And they know that it's a long way up and it's going to be a long way down. So I'm not telling people who are abroad to stay abroad, and I'm not telling you guys to go back to Jamaica to live. I'm just saying that's up to you. But think outside the box. Ask yourself, how much do you know about the violent culture of Jamaica? Is it something new? Has it been long-standing? We know Jamaica is notorious, especially when it comes to Kingston. But we also know that people don't kill people for nothing. You know, if that is some consolation. As Jamaicans, I know that. As someone who was born and raised, even the ghetto has its principles. People don't kill people for nothing. But at the same time, Jamaicans will kill you for little and nothing. If you're a Jamaican, you understand what I mean. You understand? So what I'm saying is, if you make your money and you're comfy in foreign, because not all of us that left Jamaica has family back in Jamaica. Some of us were fortunate enough to have all of our family migrated. And we have some distant cousins, some second cousins, some people who we didn't even know when we live in Jamaica. Technically they're family, but in reality, most of your family is abroad with you. Then it's up to you all to decide whether or not you should go back to Jamaica one day. Then you have the other Jamaican who still got strong Jamaican roots in Jamaica, still have fathers, still have brothers, still have sisters and so on in the country who they keep in touch with. So at the end of the day, everybody's situation is different. Jamaica is as beautiful as it's violent. But at the same time, it's up to each person to know whether or not they want to go back to Jamaica. And like I coined it, a piece of the ackee. Personally, I want a piece of the ackee. I live in foreign for decades. And my ambition, without a doubt, is to one day go back to Jamaica, get my piece of the ackee, and live comfortable. Why? Because I know, as much as I was born in paradise, I couldn't afford paradise. So now that I'm living abroad, I'm trying to stack the chips. If the chips get stacked, definitely going back home. Definitely would like to give back to Jamaica. Definitely would like to provide opportunities for the children of today, and at the same time, while providing opportunity, enjoy my share of the ackee, of course. So that's pretty much my take on the issue today. Until next time, peace.